Hey friends, Billy here. I wanted to make a video on an honestly incredibly fun build for Fire Mage and Mythic Plus. I played it in some beta dungeons last night, and I can honestly say I found it way more fun than Frost Mage. Not as much damage, but still more fun. Now let's dive into this build and let's get a quick preview of what might be Fire's Mythic Plus build in Shadowlands. These are going to be the talents that you were using. Pretty much the standard build we've always ran, but instead of using Living Bomb, we are using Flame Patch, which means we are hard casting Flame Strike outside of Combust at 2 targets, and using Flame Strike inside of Combust at 3 targets. Now for our Covenant and our Soulbind, we're going to be using Naya, which is the first Soulbind in the Night Fate Covenant. Using this path, it's going to give us 2 Potency Conduits. We're also going to be getting the Grove Invigoration, which is the mastery on random damaging spells, and also for using your Night Fate Covenant ability. For our Potency Conduits, we're going to be using Infernal Cascade, which is pretty much our new Blaster Master-like ability, but only inside of Combustion. In our second Potency Conduit, we're going to use the Flame Strike Conduit, because we're talking about Mythic Plus here. If you're raiding, you would probably take this Pyroblast Conduit for single target damage. For your Legendary and Mythic Plus, we're going to be using Firestorm, which is the backbone of all the fun I'm having. Pretty much, when it procs, when you gain that Hot Streak buff, you have a chance for this to proc, making Pyroblast and Flame Strike spammable regardless of your current Hot Streak or heating up situation, and they all crit. Now, here's an example of me spamming Pyroblast on single target when it procs. As you can see, my weak aura is right here for it. So when it procs, I'm only spamming Pyroblast. As you can see right here, the same buff procs, I'm just spamming Flame Strikes. Now, the true RNG, the true God proc is, as you see here, I got a proc in my Combustion. I'm just spamming Flame Strikes without using any resource besides the free Legendary. For Trinkets, I'm going to be using the PvP badge and the Unbound Changeling. Now, the badge has been changed to a 1-minute cooldown, which is an indirect buff for fire, because with Night Fae and the newly buffed Kindling, your Combust is now roughly a 1 minute and 15-second cooldown. So the 1-minute badge is really good for this. And I'm using the Unbound Changeling because it is a passive trinket with Intellect, and Haste is my best stat, so... Now when it comes to stat weights, Haste and Verse are your 2 best stats, being significantly better than Mastery, which is sometimes greater than or equal to Critical Strike. Now for Aoe Rotation, it's going to look pretty much similar to Legion Combustion, and what that is popping Combustion, Phoenix Flames, Fire Blasting, and Flame Striking. And because you have 3 stacks of Fire Blast and 3 stacks of Phoenix Flames, you do this 3 times. When you're done, use Scorch and any remaining Fire Blast to feed off your Flame Strikes. However, if your Legendary Firestorm procs, then just spam Flame Strike and make sure you keep up your Infernal Cascade Blaster Master-like Conduit. And what that's going to look like is something like this. Combust, Phoenix Flames, Fire Blast, Flame Strike. We do that 3 times. And because with this last Fire Blast, I'm going to Scorch, Fire Blast, Flame Strike, and at the end, I will Dragon's Breath because I have nothing left. Now, if you want to precast into your Combust, it can look something like this. Scorch, Combust, Fire Blast, Flame Strike, Phoenix Flames, Fire Blast, Flame Strike, and then you're going to repeat that over a bunch. Flame Strike. I got a proc, so I'm just going to Flame Strike, right? I'm going to make sure I refresh my Infernal Cascade. Just like that, that was a proc Combustion. On single target, your Combust will look something like this. You're going to pop Combust, and then you're going to use your first Phoenix Flames and your first Fire Blast to get your first Pyroblast out. After that, you're rotating Fire Blast and Phoenix Flames to kind of 1-2, 1-2 chain your Pyroblast. Now, assuming you don't have all stacks of Phoenix Flames, or you're waiting for an ad to spawn, these are scenarios where you would Scorch double Pyroblast towards the end of your Combustion. And what that'll look like is like this. Combust, Phoenix Flames, Fire Blast, Pyro, Fire Blast, Pyro, Phoenix Flames, Pyro, Fire Blast, Pyro, Phoenix Flames, Pyro, Fire Blast, Pyro. If your Firestorm Legendary procs during a single target Combust, then just make sure you are spamming Pyroblast until the buff is over, and just always make sure to refresh your Infernal Cascade by Fire Blasting. So in this clip, I got a proc on single target. Now, this video was just a quick overview of the fun I was having. So the next few clips I'm just going to show you are some mass AoE clips in and out of combustion. So in this clip, this is going to highlight, how OP fire not having a target cap is. Flame Strike is not target capped, so on a big pull like this, it just lets me spam Flame Strikes over and over and over. Over and over and over. It's pretty big damage when it's uncapped AoE. And this right here is a pull where I do not have combustion. So the only thing I can do outside of combustion is Runa Power and hardcast Flame Strikes. The entire time I'm encouraging my take to stand still, of course, but I'm hardcasting Flame Strikes and looking for a 30% target to scorch off of the entire time. So as soon as this mob hits 30%, I'm scorching for Flame Strikes. This is I was actually surprised that I thought my damage would be a lot lower, personally, without combustion. This pull. This is a pull where I do not have combustion, except I actually get a Firestorm proc, which makes my damage actually insane. So right here I Runa Power and I get a proc instantly, so I'm just spamming out Flame Strikes. Shifting Power to get Fire Blast back right here, and I just continue to spam my Flame Strikes. At this point I'm looking for a 30% health target once again. And my damage, it didn't seem bad, personally. Outside of combustion, it really didn't seem bad. One thing about fire is that its single target is nothing crazy. It's pretty average single target. Right here is one pull where I did happen to do insane single target, but that was pretty much because I had good procs. I had a Firestorm before this combust, and I had a Firestorm during this combust, which lets me just spam. I also potted in Lust and Prideful. So in this clip, with Lust and everything, your single target can actually be really good, but your sustained single target is way lower than Frost.
He cares about me.
In this clip, I want to show you the hype I get for getting a proc.
Oh, I got a proc. Yes, dude. Yes.
Now, to wrap this video up, I want to say that I still do think that Frost is a better spec to play. Just Fire was very fun. I do think that Fire has some very, very good burst AoE damage. I do think because it's uncapped Flame Strike damage, I do think I have a lot of damage. So, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to, subscribe, like, whatever. And, more videos to come soon.